How did one harmless office Christmas party end with a process server walking into my workplace and calling my name in front of everyone? Why did my husband file so fast that the temporary rule started the same day I got the papers? I kept saying I was the victim until I saw what he had calmly prepared. My name is Alathea Quince. I was 33 that December, and I worked in communications at a software company. People there liked me because I knew how to talk. I could make a room feel light. I could make a problem sound small. At home, Ethan did not care about my skills. He cared about facts, time, and respect. That was his favorite word, respect. That week, the office Christmas party was all anyone talked about. Tara said the hotel ballroom was booked and the company paid for a bar package. She asked me to help with the speech notes and the photo corner. I said yes fast because it made me look important. When you are useful at work, people forgive your sharp edges. Grant Huxley was also on the planning thread. He was younger than me, and he had a smooth face and a loud laugh. He liked being seen. In the open plan office, he leaned over my desk like he belonged there. He asked if I was wearing the red dress or the black one. I said I had not decided. He said the red one would win. I pretended that was a joke, but I felt warm anyway. Around lunch, Ethan texted me and asked what time I would be home. I said I would be late because of party setup. He asked if he should bring anything. I said no and added a smile emoji, like that solved everything. At 3, I walked past the break area and heard 2 coworkers talk about Ethan. One said he looked serious all the time. The other said he seemed like a man who checked the door locks twice. They laughed. I laughed too, even though Ethan was not there. In my head, I said he brought it on himself. He could be nicer. He could act normal. When I got home, Ethan was in the kitchen cutting vegetables. The kids were at the table with crayons. Mila was drawing a tree with too many stars on top. Noah was pushing a toy car in a slow circle. Ethan asked if we could go to the party together and leave together. He said it would feel better that way. I said he was making it into a big thing. He asked why it had to be a big thing to matter. I said he always made rules. He said he did not want rules. He wanted us to be a team. I told him I was already going with my team. I said it was networking. I said people noticed who arrived with who. He asked why that mattered more than our marriage. I said he was being dramatic again. He said he was not trying to fight, he was trying to understand. Then he mentioned Grant. He said he did not like how Grant talked to me. He said Grant acted like a single man around a married woman. I rolled my eyes, like I was tired. I said Grant was just friendly. I said Ethan did not know office culture. I said his job was quiet, so he did not get it. Ethan asked if I liked the attention. I said he was twisting things. I said I liked being valued. I said he should want that for me. He said he did want that, but he also wanted boundaries. I said boundaries were just a nicer word for control. Mila looked up and asked why we were talking so loud. I told her we were fine. Ethan told her we were fine too. He lowered his voice right away. I did not. I kept my tone sharp, like I deserved it. After dinner, Ethan offered to drive. I said I wanted to go with my coworkers. He asked why I could not ride with him and still see my coworkers there. I said he would stand too close and look unhappy, and people would ask questions. He said people could ask. I said that was easy for him to say because he did not have to work with them on Monday. He asked if I was ashamed of him. I said he was putting words in my mouth. He said he felt like I was hiding him. I said he was imagining things again. I told him he needed to trust me. I got dressed in the bedroom and I kept the door half closed. I told myself it was because I needed space. Really, it was because I liked having a small secret. Secrets made me feel powerful. Ethan knocked once and asked if I needed help with the zipper. I said I was fine. He said okay and walked away. In the driveway, the cold air hit my face and it woke me up. Ethan stood near his car keys. He asked if he could at least come for an hour. I said he could, but he should not embarrass me. He asked what that meant. I said it meant no sulking and no comments about Grant. Ethan nodded like he had heard it before. At the hotel, the lobby smelled like pine and perfume. The ballroom doors were open and music leaked out. Tara waved at me like I was a hero. She asked if I could check the speech notes one more time. I said yes. Ethan hung back near the entrance. He looked neat and clean, but he looked like he did not belong. I saw it, and I felt annoyed at him for it. Grant came up fast and said I looked amazing. He asked if Ethan was my ride. I said Ethan was my husband. Grant laughed like that was cute information, not important information. Ethan held his hand out to shake. Grant shook it, but his eyes stayed on me. The room filled up. People took photos near the fake snow wall. Someone called Ethan quiet. Someone asked him if he always let me run the show. I smiled and answered for him. I said Ethan liked calm, and I liked fun. I said it like a harmless joke. People laughed. Ethan smiled too, but his smile was thin. Later, when the speeches started, Ethan stood by the wall. I stood closer to the center with Tara and Grant. Grant leaned in and said, I deserved better than a man who looked mad at joy. I said Ethan was not mad. I said he was just tired. Grant asked if I was happy. I said of course I was happy. I said Ethan was lucky to have me. Then I saw Ethan watching me. His face was still. He was not yelling. He was not making a scene. That calm look should have made me feel safe. Instead, it made me feel judged. I decided he did not get to judge me. Grant touched my elbow and asked if I wanted to see something funny near the hallway, away from the noise. I hesitated for 1 second. I told myself it was just a quick break. I told myself I was allowed to breathe. I walked with him toward the edge of the ballroom, and I did not look back at Ethan. The hallway outside the ballroom felt colder, like the building kept its real face there. The music became a dull beat behind the door. Grant walked close beside me, like we were a normal pair. He asked if I wanted water or air. I said I just wanted a minute. He said the party was loud and fake. I said work was always like that. We reached a small coat storage corridor near a stairwell. There were extra chairs stacked and a sign that said staff only. Grant stood in front of me, blocking the view back to the ballroom. He asked if Ethan always watched me like that. I said Ethan watched everything. Grant said it was not romantic. I said Ethan cared too much about rules. Grant said I acted like a woman who carried a heavy bag all day. He said I should put it down. I laughed, but it was not a clean laugh. It was the kind that meant yes. He stepped closer. I did not step away. I told myself it was just words and heat and Christmas lights. I told myself I deserved a moment that belonged only to me. He asked if I was happy at home. I said home was fine, but it was dull. He asked if I felt seen. I said I felt invisible sometimes. He said he saw me. That sentence hit me like a drink I did not expect to be strong. When he touched my face, I did not stop him. I turned my head like it was an accident. Then, it was not an accident. I made a choice, and I let it happen. There was no romance in it, not really. It was a quick, selfish relief. I knew it was wrong even while I was doing it, but I kept telling myself Ethan pushed me there with his constant suspicion. I made him the cause, so I could stay the hero. A door opened at the far end and someone laughed, then the door shut again. Grant pulled back first. He asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. He asked if I wanted to go further. I said no, not here. He smiled like we shared a secret club. He told me to fix my hair. I did, and my hands shook for a second. We walked back toward the ballroom. Grant said we should act normal. I said I always acted normal. He laughed and said that was why he liked me. Inside, the lights felt too bright. I saw Ethan near the wall, still calm, still polite. I felt a flash of anger at him for being there like a silent judge. I walked past him without touching his arm. He asked where I had been. I said I was helping Tara with supplies. He looked at me a little longer than normal. Then he nodded like he accepted it, but his eyes did not relax. The rest of the party moved fast. People danced. People filmed stories. People hugged coworkers they did not even like. Tara asked me to stand in a group photo. I stood near Grant. Ethan stood on the side of the frame again, like a guest in his own life. After the ballroom closed, Tara pushed everyone toward a rooftop bar nearby. She said it was tradition. I said yes because everyone else said yes. Ethan asked if we should go home. I said we were already out. He asked if the kids were okay with the sitter. I said the sitter was paid and fine. He asked if I could at least ride with him. I said I would meet him there. At the rooftop bar, the air smelled like smoke and sweet drinks. People clapped when someone ordered shots. I did not drink too much, but I acted like I did. I leaned into the noise. Grant stayed near me, and Tara stayed near me too, like they were my guards. Someone joked that Ethan looked like my driver. Someone else said he looked like he was waiting outside a school dance. I laughed, and Tara laughed, and then I saw Ethan's face change. He did not shout. He did not slam anything. He just stared at his drink, like it was suddenly heavy. Ethan asked me later if I thought those jokes were kind. I said he was too sensitive. He asked if I even noticed him tonight. I said of course I noticed him, but I could not babysit his mood. He said he did not want babysitting. He wanted respect. I told him he loved that word because it made him feel strong. On the way home, I got in Ethan's car because I did not want to explain myself to the sitter at 2 a.m. Ethan drove with both hands tight on the wheel. He asked why Grant kept touching my shoulder. I said it was team culture and harmless. He asked why I disappeared earlier. I said I told him. I helped Tara. He said Tara was inside the ballroom the whole time. I said he must have seen it wrong. I said his memory was not as good as he thought. When we got home, Ethan slept on the guest bed without a fight. That should have made me feel safe. Instead, it made me feel annoyed, like he was refusing to play his role in my story. In the morning, the kitchen felt quiet and sharp. Ethan made oatmeal for the kids. Mila asked why Dad looked tired. I said Dad was stressed from work. Ethan looked at me and did not correct me. After breakfast, Ethan asked if he could see my phone. He said he needed the truth. I said he was invading my privacy. He said privacy was not secrecy. I said he was controlling again. He told me he did not want control. He wanted clarity. I said clarity was just a trap word. When I walked past the living room, I heard a soft beep from Ethan's phone, like a recording started and stopped. I froze for a moment. Then I told myself it was nothing. I told myself he listened to voice notes for work. Later, I saw a folder on the desk that said bank in neat black marker. Ethan was not usually neat. The folder sat straight like it was on display. I asked what it was. He said it was household stuff. I said he was acting strange. He said he was being responsible. At work on Monday, I tried to act normal. Tara asked if I was okay because people saw things. I said Ethan was making drama at home and it was hard. Tara said I should protect myself. I said I was already protecting myself. Then my phone buzzed with Grant's message. He asked if I missed the hallway. I stared at it too long. A moment later, a notification popped up from HR. Jessie asked me to stop by for a quick word about conduct and boundaries. I felt heat climb up my neck, and I told myself it was unfair. I told myself everyone else did worse than me. I told myself Ethan had somehow caused this too. Jessie Pike from HR sat across from me in a small conference room that smelled like dry coffee. The blinds were half closed, even though it was bright outside. Jessie asked if I understood the company's policy about workplace conduct. I said yes, and I smiled like I was being mature. Jessie asked if anything happened at the Christmas party that could become a complaint. I said no, nothing serious. I said people were just dramatic after drinks. Jessie said there were reports of blurred boundaries and people disappearing from the main event area. Jessie did not say my name with accusation, but the tone was careful. I said it was unfair that I was being watched. I said my husband was the jealous one, and he made things tense. Jessie asked if my husband worked here. I said no. Jessie said then my marriage issues could not become an office issue. Jessie said I needed to be mindful of gossip because it damaged teams. I said I understood, but I also said gossip was not my fault. When I left, I saw Tara by the printer. Tara asked what HR wanted. I said HR just had to check boxes. Tara asked if Ethan had complained. I said Ethan was the type who would, because he liked control. Tara made a face like she agreed. That made me feel strong again. At my desk, I saw Grant across the aisle. He looked at me like we had a private joke. He sent a message that asked if HR was being annoying. I did not answer right away. I wanted him to feel like he had to wait for me. Then I typed that everything was fine and people were jealous. He replied with a laughing emoji and wrote that he liked my confidence. That afternoon, I told myself I would set rules with Grant. I told myself I would be professional. But when he walked by and brushed my chair with his hand, my chest lifted like I had earned something. I hated that feeling, and I chased it anyway. At home, Ethan was already there. The kitchen was clean, too clean. The kids were playing quietly in the living room. Ethan asked how my day went. I said work was stressful because people judged me. Ethan asked what they judged. I said it was office nonsense. He asked if it was about the party. I said he was obsessed with the party. He said he was not obsessed, he was concerned. He asked if I noticed how my coworkers talked about him. I said he cared too much about what strangers thought. He asked if I cared. I said I cared about reality, not feelings. After dinner, Ethan asked if I wanted to sit and talk without phones. I said I was tired. He asked if I was tired or avoiding. I said he was accusing me again. Ethan said he was asking, not accusing. I said he always used calm words to look innocent. Later that week, we went to the supermarket. It should have been simple. We needed milk, fruit, and cereal. Ethan pushed the cart. I walked ahead with my phone in my hand, like I had important messages. In the checkout line, Ethan asked about a pending hotel charge he saw on the bank app. He kept his voice low. He asked if it was from the party. I said it was probably a deposit. He asked why there would be a deposit. I said maybe Tara paid for something, and it hit my card by mistake. He asked if I had the email receipt. I said I deleted it because my inbox was full. Ethan nodded slowly, like he was filing that answer away. He said he could call the hotel to confirm. I said he was being extreme. He said he was being careful. I said careful was just another name for distrust. A woman behind us looked at us, then looked away. That made my face hot. I hated being seen as a couple with trouble. I wanted to flip the script. I wanted to make Ethan the problem in public. So I sighed loudly and said he always did this. Ethan did not react. He just paid and carried the bags like a normal man. That night, my phone lit up with Grant's name while I was in the kitchen. It was only a preview on the lock screen. Ethan was pouring water for Myla. His eyes flicked to my phone for half a second. Then he looked away. He did not ask. He did not chase. That felt worse than a fight. 2 days later, we had dinner with his parents at a family restaurant. It was one of those places with long tables and bright lights that made everyone look tired. Ruth Caldwell hugged the kids and asked about school. Dennis Caldwell asked Ethan about work. They were polite to me, but the air felt tight. During the meal, Ruth asked how things were going at home. I said it was fine, but Ethan had been distant. I said he was acting like a stranger. Ethan looked at his plate and kept eating. Ruth asked why he was distant. Ethan said he did not want to argue in public. I said he always avoided hard talks. I made it sound like a flaw. Ruth asked me directly if I had done something to hurt him. I laughed like it was a crazy idea. I said I was the one feeling hurt because Ethan treated me like a suspect. Dennis said it sounded serious and asked if we planned to get help. I said Ethan needed help with trust issues. Ethan finally looked up and said he wanted honesty, not labels. I said he was making me sound like a liar. He said he was not calling me names, he was asking for truth. Ruth said the kids needed peace. I said I agreed, but Ethan kept bringing tension everywhere. Ethan's jaw moved once like he wanted to say more, but he stopped. He asked the kids if they wanted dessert. Mila said yes in a small voice. On the way home, Ethan drove in silence. I hated the silence because I could not control it. I asked why he embarrassed me in front of his parents. He asked how he embarrassed me. I said his quiet mood made everyone think I was guilty. He said he could not manage other people's thoughts. I said he could at least defend me. He said he could not defend what he did not understand. At home, when the kids were asleep, Ethan stood in the hallway and asked if I was still talking to Grant outside of work. I laughed and said Grant was just a coworker. Ethan said he saw Grant's name on my screen. I said it was an old message. He asked what it said. I said it was nothing. Then his phone buzzed. The screen showed no caller ID. Ethan looked at it and stepped into the garage to answer. I stood at the kitchen doorway and listened to the muffled sound of his voice, low and controlled. He came back after a minute and put his phone face down. I asked who that was. He said it was a call he needed to take. I asked if it was about me. He said it was about planning. I asked what planning. He said planning for stability. The next morning, Ethan asked me for the children's school schedule. He asked what time Mila's pickup line started and when her winter program was. He asked about Noah's daycare days and the emergency contacts. I asked why he needed all that now. He said he wanted it written down so nobody forgot anything. I said he was acting like we were separating. He said he was acting like a parent. I wanted to laugh it off, but I could not. His calm was starting to feel like a door closing. I told myself I still had time to fix it. I told myself I could talk my way out like I always did. Then my phone buzzed again, and I did not even need to look to know it was Grant. The next day, I went to the school pickup line early on purpose. I wanted Mila to see me first. I wanted other parents to see me too. In my head, a calm public scene was proof that my life was fine. Mila came out with her backpack bouncing. She climbed into the car and asked why Dad slept in the guest room. She said she heard him coughing in there at night. I told her Dad was just stressed and needed quiet. I said grown-ups sometimes needed space. Mila asked if Dad was mad at me. I said Dad was mad at work and he brought it home. I made it sound like it was not my fault. At a red light, Mila asked if we were still doing the winter program at school. She asked if Dad would come. I said of course he would come if he wanted to. I heard how cold that sounded, but I did not change it. I told myself I was teaching her not to beg for love. When we got home, Ethan was in the kitchen with a lunchbox open. He asked Mila about her day. Mila said she got a sticker for reading. Ethan told her he was proud. He did not look at me when he said it. I hated that. I wanted him to look at me and prove he still needed me. I told Ethan I handled pickup and everything was fine. He asked if Mila asked questions. I said she asked normal kid questions. He asked what I said. I told him I said he was stressed. Ethan paused and asked why I said that. I said because it was true. He asked if I could stop using him as an excuse. I said he was trying to control my words again. Ethan asked if we could talk after the kids went to bed. I said I was tired. He said he was tired too, but we still needed to talk. I said he always picked the wrong time. Ethan said there was never a right time for me, only a later time that never came. I told him he was being dramatic. That evening, I went to the gym lobby to meet Tara. I did not even work out. I just wanted a place that felt loud and busy, where I could talk without hearing my own thoughts. Tara asked if things were still weird at home. I said Ethan was punishing me with silence. Tara asked if I had crossed a line at the party. I told her Ethan had been cold for months and it made me feel lonely. Tara said loneliness was not a reason to be careless. I said she did not understand my marriage. Tara said she understood consequences. I asked Tara if people at work were still talking. Tara said people noticed everything, but they moved on fast if you acted confident. I said I always acted confident. Tara said HR was watching because someone made a comment about boundaries. I said HR loved drama. Tara said HR loved paperwork. On my way home, I checked my phone in the parking lot. Grant had sent a message that said he could not stop thinking about our little break. I stared at it and felt both proud and sick. I wrote back that he needed to be careful and not leave a trail. Then I deleted my message thread preview and told myself I was being smart, not guilty. At home, the air felt still. Ethan had put Noah in pajamas already. Noah ran to me and grabbed my leg. I picked him up and kissed his hair. I told myself this was what mattered, and everything else was just adult noise. After the kids went to bed, Ethan asked if we could sit in the kitchen. I said okay, but I kept my arms crossed, like I was the one being attacked. Ethan said he wanted peace for the kids. I said I wanted peace too, but he was making war with his questions. Ethan said questions were not war. He said lies were war. I laughed and told him he was using big words to scare me. Ethan said he was not trying to scare me. He asked again if anything happened with Grant at the party. I said no. I said people flirted and joked, and that was all. Ethan asked why Grant messaged me late at night then. I said Grant was immature and liked attention. Ethan asked why I kept letting him have access. I said because I could not be rude at work. Ethan looked down at the table, like he was measuring his next words. He asked me to stop posting about our marriage online. He said it invited strangers into our home. I said he just wanted to silence me, so I could not tell my side. Ethan said he did not want sides. He wanted truth and privacy. I said privacy was a cover for his shame. Ethan said shame came from actions, not from asking for privacy. That night, when I went to the bathroom, I heard a sound from the laundry area. It was a low hum, steady and mechanical. I walked closer and realized it was the shredder. Ethan was feeding paper into it slowly. He did not look guilty. He looked focused, like he was doing a chore. I asked what he was shredding. He said old mail and duplicates. I asked why he was doing it at night. He said he had time at night. I said he was acting strange. He said he was being organized. Then he tied a small trash bag and carried it out without rushing. The next morning, I saw 2 mugs on the counter, but they were separated. One was near the sink. One was near the stove. I knew it was petty, but it felt like a line drawn in porcelain. That weekend, we went to his parents' house. I did not want to go, but Ethan said they wanted to see the kids. Ruth hugged Mila and Noah and asked if they were sleeping well. Mila said Dad slept in the other room. Ruth looked at Ethan. Ethan said he was just trying to rest. I jumped in and said Ethan had been moody lately. I wanted Ruth to focus on him, not on me. Ruth asked me if I was okay. I said I was okay, but I felt alone. I said Ethan shut down. Ruth asked Ethan what was going on. Ethan said he did not want to discuss it in front of the kids. Ruth said the kids were playing in the next room and could not hear. Ethan said kids heard more than people thought. Ruth asked me straight, again, if I had been faithful. My chest tightened. I said she was accusing me because she never trusted me. Ruth said trust was earned. Dennis said we should all calm down. I told Dennis that Ethan was making me feel like a criminal. Ethan said he was not calling me a criminal. He said he was asking for basic honesty. I said he was cold and cruel for questioning me. Ethan said he was calm, not cruel. He said he would not fight loudly. He said he would not beg. He said he would do what was needed for the kids. Ruth nodded like she understood that sentence too well. When we got home, I walked past Ethan's laptop on the dining table. A spreadsheet was open. I saw dates down a column and short notes beside them. I saw a few timestamps that looked like morning and late night. There was no title at the top, just clean cells. I leaned closer, but Ethan came in and closed it without panic. I asked what it was. He said it was planning. I asked planning for what? He said planning for routine. I said he was acting like a stranger again. Ethan said he was acting like a man who needed facts. I went to the bedroom doorway and waited for him to follow. He did not. He stayed in the living room and turned off the lights one by one. The quiet felt louder than any fight. I told myself I still had control. I told myself Ethan would break first. But the house felt like it was already changing around me. On Monday morning, I followed Ethan. I did not say I followed him. I told myself I was just being aware. I told myself a wife had the right to know where her husband went. In my head, it was not spying if I was protecting the family. That was the story I chose. He left after dropping Noah at daycare. His car did not go toward his office. It went toward downtown. I stayed 3 cars behind, like it was a silly game. He parked near a co-working cafe with big windows and clean signs. He walked in with a calm step. He carried a thin stack of folders, all the same size. I sat in my car and watched like I was the injured one. When he came out, he had a new key on his ring. It was shiny and plain. He also had a small envelope in his pocket. I felt a sharp fear, and my first thought was money. I thought he was hiding money. I thought he was planning to leave me without a cushion. I did not think for 1 second that he was trying to keep the kids stable. My mind went straight to my own risk. At home, I waited until the afternoon to bring it up. I wanted him to think I was calm. I wanted to strike when he did not expect it. In the driveway, while Mila played on the step with chalk, I asked Ethan where he went that morning. He said he ran errands. I asked what kind of errands. He said personal errands. I asked if he was meeting someone. He said he was handling things. I asked if he was handling things against me. He looked at me and said he was handling things for the children. That answer made me angry because it sounded noble. It made me feel like a villain without him calling me one. So I pushed harder. I said he was acting like we were already divorced. He said he was acting like the situation was serious. I said he was overreacting to nothing. He said it was not nothing if trust was broken. I said trust was broken because he never gave me room to breathe. Ethan said room to breathe did not mean room to lie. I told him he was using trust as a weapon. He said he was using facts as a tool. I said facts could be twisted. He said then we should not twist them. That calm line made me want to throw something, but I did not. I stayed PG, I stayed polite, because I needed my image. That night, I called my sister Brielle in the kitchen while Ethan bathed Noah. I said Ethan was planning something. Brielle asked if I had done anything I needed to confess. I said no, but I also said a wife could feel lonely. I said Ethan had been cold for years. Brielle said loneliness was not a free pass. I said she sounded like Ethan. Brielle said she sounded like reality. Then I called my mom. I did not want advice, I wanted support. My mom said Ethan always wanted to look like the good guy. She said men used calm as a trick. She told me to post something strong online, something about emotional neglect. She said if I controlled the story first, I would win. So I posted a vague message about living with someone who punishes you with silence. I did not name Ethan, but everyone knew. Comments came in fast. Hearts. Support. People asking if I was okay. I felt the rush, and I mistook it for safety. Ethan saw it later. He did not shout. He asked why I did that. I said I needed support. He said support was fine, but public shaming was not. I said it was not shaming, it was my truth. He asked if it was the whole truth. I said he was twisting my words again. He said he was not twisting, he was comparing. The next day, I stood in a pharmacy queue behind an older couple. The shelves were bright and full, like nothing bad could happen in a place that sold vitamins. Ethan had asked me to pick up cough medicine for Mila. I agreed because it looked like cooperation. While I waited, my phone buzzed. It was Grant. He asked if I could meet for coffee and talk. I knew what talk meant. I typed that he needed to stop messaging me like that. Then I deleted the message and wrote something softer. I wrote that things were complicated and he needed to be careful. I hit send and felt sick again. When I got home, Ethan was at the table with a notebook open. He was writing something down in neat lines. No title, no drama, just notes. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing routines. I asked why he needed a notebook for routines we already knew. He said, because when people get emotional, they forget. He said the kids should not suffer because adults forget. I told him he was acting like he was preparing to take the kids. He said he was preparing to parent in any situation. I said that sounded like a threat. He said it was not a threat, it was responsibility. That evening, I tried a new tactic. I tried to make him jealous on purpose. I mentioned Grant at dinner like he was nothing. I said Grant thought my presentation was brilliant. Ethan nodded and said that was good. No reaction. I said Grant invited the team out next week. Ethan said okay. I asked if he cared. He said he cared about what mattered. I could not stand the calm. I wanted him to explode so I could say, see, he is the problem. So I went further. In the bedroom doorway later, I asked Ethan why he did not fight for me. I asked why he just watched me slip away. Ethan said he had asked for honesty many times. I said he had asked in a cold way. Ethan said he had asked in a clear way. I said clear was still cruel if it hurt me. Ethan said pain did not turn lies into truth. I told him he was weak for hiding behind calm rules. I told him a real man would chase his wife. Ethan looked at me for a long time. Then he spoke slowly. He said he was done chasing. He said he would not argue in circles. He said he would handle this properly. He did not say it like a threat. He said it like a plan already set. He walked past me and went to the guest room. The door clicked softly. Later that night, I heard a small alarm sound from his phone in the other room. It was a short, neutral tone. I heard him tap it off. I did not see the screen, but I imagined words like paper drop or meeting. I lay in bed and stared at the ceiling, and I told myself he was bluffing. But in the dark, the smell of toner drifted from the hallway like someone had used a printer. My phone showed 7:12 a.m. when Ethan left, and I heard a cloud sync chime from his device as the front door closed. I told myself it was work stuff. I told myself he could not really do anything without me agreeing. That thought kept me calm until lunch. At 12:23, I walked into the office tower lobby with my badge and a coffee, and I saw a man in a plain jacket step toward me. He asked if I was Alathea Quince. I said yes, and I tried to sound annoyed, like he was wasting my time. He said he had legal documents for me. I laughed once and asked if this was a joke. He said it was not a joke and held out a packet. Jessie from HR came out of the elevator at the same moment. Jessie asked if everything was okay. The man said he was serving divorce papers and needed a witness for delivery. Jessie's face changed, but Jessie stayed professional and asked me to come into the HR room. Inside, Jessie asked if I needed water. I said I needed my husband to stop being cruel. Jessie said HR could not be involved in personal disputes, but the service happened in the lobby, and it was now a workplace matter only in terms of safety and disruption. I opened the packet with shaking fingers. I saw Ethan's name on the first page. I saw the word petition and the date. I saw temporary rules that started today. It said we had a temporary parenting schedule. It said neither of us could move large sums or drain accounts. It said communication should be limited to the children and use a written channel. I called Ethan. He did not answer. I texted him, and an auto reply told me to use the listed method.